So that when I look up at the night sky, and I know that, yes, we are part of this universe, we are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. When I reflect on that fact, I look up. Many people feel small because they're small and the universe is big, but I feel big because my atoms came from those stars. There's a level of connectivity. That's really what you want in life. You want to feel connected. You want to feel relevant. You want to feel like you're a participant in the goings-on of activities and events around you. That's precisely what we are, just by being alive.
For the last decade, we've spent more money than we take in. In the year 2000, the government had a budget surplus. But instead of using it to pay off our debt, the money was spent on trillions of dollars in new tax cuts, while 2 wars and an expensive prescription drug program were simply added to our nation's credit card. As a result, the deficit was on track to top $1 trillion the year I took office.
Not reaching a fiscal cliff deal could mean disaster. The U.S. government may hit its legal borrowing limit by Monday.
To make matters worse, the recession meant that there was less money coming in, and it required us to spend even more on tax cuts for middle-class families to spur the economy, on unemployment insurance, on aid to states so we could prevent more teachers and firefighters and police officers from being laid off. These emergency steps also added to the deficit.
About how much more money we're going to ask the taxpayer to shoe in for this government, this bloated, overspending government. It's about ready to hit its debt ceiling.
Let's live within our means by making serious, historic cuts in government spending. Let's ask the wealthiest Americans and biggest corporations to give up some of their breaks in the tax code and special deductions. This balanced approach asks everyone to give a little without requiring anyone to sacrifice too much. It would reduce the deficit by around $4 trillion and put us on a path to pay down our debt.
We found no shortage of ideas either. Money was some common ground.
So I don't think that education, healthcare, or environmental initiatives should be cut at all.
I would not cut education and Medicaid funding.
The one thing we have to watch out for is that we don't undercut people who are already financially vulnerable.
You know the feeling among some Americans. We've been to the moon, been there, done that. Maybe they say this is a program that could go by the boards.
Yes, I think it's short-sighted because we have spent over $6 to $7 billion in trying to get the Constellation program going. Now, I understand that the president is saying, okay, build the Orion capsule, and then we'll go out to the commercial interest to let them build a booster to put that capsule up into space to support the space station. But they don't realize that by doing that, that the people that will build the booster will be new entrepreneurs. They will not have the expertise to do all the things for being man-rated. And consequently, it's going to cost us billions, not just in building the booster, but new infrastructure down at the Cape to launch the thing.
You know, scientists have gone back through the budget. They've reconfigured things so that they've come up with a plan to explore Mars that will be acceptable to everyone. But we have to push that last little bit. Our people on the inside tell us that what we've been doing, or what you've been doing, is working. But we need to do this last step, and that's where you come in.
We've seen planetary science do so much for us. None of these experiments have ever been a failure. We've always learned something. So let Congress know how important it is to continue along this path. Send emails, send faxes, do what you can, but speak out. Let's get Congress back on our side again.
Let's start out by asking, what is NASA Nobody's dreaming about tomorrow anymore. The most powerful agency on the dreams of a nation is currently underfunded to do what it needs to be doing. And that's making dreams come true. How much would you pay for the universe?